So 7,000 miles on this bike, pretty much all dirt, probably under 1,000 miles on the road. And it's been extremely reliable. Haven't had any issues with it at all. There was a stator recall from Yamaha a couple years ago. They put a new stator in it, and it's been just amazing. Changed the oil, cleaned the air filter. I think I went through a couple set of brake pads, a couple sets of chains and sprockets, lots of tires. But one of the biggest things I like about this bike is definitely the reliability and the low maintenance. This bike has been really ridden hard. I mean, if you look at the, the plastic's all scratched up, the fenders have been bent, the handguards, it's been knocked off of trees and rocks and everything else. I did fall in a rock garden a couple times and hit up the stator cover here pretty bad. So I mean, it's been beat, it's been ridden hard, it's been ridden at high RPMs almost all the time. I mean, these motors like to sing, so in order to get the power to keep up with 450s and 500s on the trail, you pretty much have to hold this thing down some of the times. But it's a blast to ride. So none of the engine bolts have been touched. Everything's original. The top end's all original. I haven't touched a single bolt on the motor other than oil changes, and even the clutch is stock. And I run this bike just all the time in the dirt. The only time I'm on the road is when I'm getting from one trail to another. It always starts, it always runs. I did stud it up a couple years ago and went out on the lake with it ice racing, and it started this same exact way in the middle of winter as it does right now in the summer. Hot, cold, tip it over, always starts. 1452 gearing is perfect for the dirt. It gets you just enough to get up to 70, 75 on the freeway if you need to. This Wolfman tank bag has been phenomenal. That's been on there since I bought the bike. It's been on there 7,000 miles. It's been great. I put all my gear in there. Wallet, keys, phone, never had any problems with it. Seat Concept seat, it's like 200 bucks. If you like to sit a lot, you're probably gonna want that. Skid plate is the plastic Moose one. I went with that instead of the aluminum because they tend to make less noise up into your helmet. Radiator Guards is pretty standard. A lot of the new riders that I ride with, they go out and they buy a 450cc or a 500cc bike, and they're a new rider, and they just can't learn on a bike that big. You need to have a smaller bore bike that you can learn and grow and outride the bike. And then once you outride the bike, then you get yourself a bigger bike. So this 250 is plenty of fun out here in the national forest and on the trails, and it's more than enough power to have fun on. It's all just skill. You have to go out and you have to ride and you have to put in the time. I ride every Sunday. I'm 38 years old and I ride every Sunday. I drive about an hour to get to the trails, and it's very therapeutic to go out and be in nature and ride. And the fact that I can go out and ride on this bike with its reliability, I don't have to worry about it breaking down and having to call somebody and have them come get me. And the 7,000 dirt miles I got on this machine, and it's not missed a single beat. And I'm not necessarily saying go out and buy a WR250R or any other bike, because Honda has that CRF450L coming out, and some people are saying it's only going to be 25 horsepower. Well, I'm sure that's just a throttle restrictor screw so that you can't open up the throttle all the way. Same thing as they did with the WR450. So, and that bike's going to be about 10 grand, and that's really going to be a game changer, because as of now, as far as dual sports went, you didn't really have a whole lot of options. So getting to my point here, if you're thinking about getting a dual sport and getting out and riding, they can be a lot of fun. I ride up in the national forest on a lot of forest roads like this and trails, and if you're thinking about getting one of these, whether it be this bike or a different bike, go out and buy one. And you know, maybe leave it stock, throw some tires on it, take it out and ride it around for a while. But life is short, and you know, if you're thinking about getting a dual sport, go out and buy one and go have fun. If you get it geared down, which I'm at 1452 gearing, it's extremely easy to learn how to ride this bike. You don't even need any throttle. All you do is just feather the clutch out a little bit. A 6-year-old could ride this bike.